Ever found yourself dealing with someone who thinks they're always right and expect the world to revolve around them? It can be exhausting, right? But here's the good news. You don't have to let self-entitled people ruin your peace or take over your life. There are simple techniques you can use to manage these situations effectively. In today's video, we're going to break down the 10 best simple techniques to handle self-entitled people, so you can keep your cool and maintain control in any situation. So, are you ready to learn how? Let's get started. Number 1. Stay calm and composed. The first step when dealing with self-entitled people is to stay calm. It's easy to get frustrated or upset, especially when they push your buttons, but showing anger will only feed into their sense of power. They often thrive on provoking reactions from others. So when you maintain your composure, you take away their control over the situation. Instead of reacting emotionally, take a deep breath, give yourself a moment, and respond thoughtfully. This pause gives you time to approach the conversation with a clear mind, helping you avoid unnecessary conflict. Plus, remaining calm shows them that their behavior isn't getting under your skin, which can make them think twice about acting out. By staying composed, you set the tone for the interaction, and you'll be better able to guide it in a positive direction. Number 2. Set clear boundaries. Self-entitled people often feel they're above rules, so they'll test your limits to see how much they can get away with. That's why it's crucial to set firm boundaries. When someone makes unreasonable demands or expects special treatment, you need to be clear about what you will and won't tolerate. For example, if they constantly try to take advantage of your time, calmly let them know your availability or explain that you can't meet their demands outside of agreed-upon limits. It's important to be polite but direct. This isn't about being harsh. It's about protecting your own peace and ensuring they respect your limits. Once you set these boundaries, stick to them. People with an inflated sense of entitlement will try to push back, but consistency is key. Over time, they'll come to realize that you're serious and won't bend to their every whim. Number 3. Avoid arguing with them. Arguing with a self-entitled person is like trying to win a race where the finish line keeps moving. No matter how logical or reasonable your points are, they'll often refuse to admit they're wrong or acknowledge any other perspective than their own. Arguing only feeds into their desire for control, validation, and superiority. Instead of getting pulled into a pointless argument, acknowledge their opinion without fully engaging. You can say something like, "I see your point, but I have a different perspective," and move on. This shows respect without fueling their need for validation. When you avoid arguing, you also avoid giving them power over the conversation. You keep the interaction brief and to the point, preserving your energy and focus for more productive things. By not engaging in their endless debates, you stay in control of your emotions in the situation. Number 4. Utilize the power of silence. Sometimes, silence speaks louder than words. When dealing with a self-entitled person, one of the most effective responses can be no response at all. If they're making unreasonable demands, throwing a tantrum, or being rude, staying silent shows that you won't entertain or reward their behavior. This kind of silence isn't passive, it's intentional. It creates discomfort for the self-entitled person, as they're often looking for a reaction. When you don't respond, it forces them to rethink their approach. They may realize that their entitlement isn't going to get them the attention or compliance they want. However, it's important to use silence wisely. It's not about ignoring the person altogether. It's about choosing when to disengage from toxic behavior. If the conversation is respectful, feel free to participate. But if it crosses a line, silence can be your most powerful tool. Number 5. Be assertive, not aggressive. It's essential to be assertive when dealing with self-entitled individuals, but being assertive doesn't mean being aggressive. Assertiveness is about expressing your thoughts, needs, and boundaries clearly and confidently without coming across as rude or hostile. For example, if someone is demanding something unreasonable from you, calmly and firmly state, "I'm not comfortable with that," or "I can't help you with this right now." You're standing your ground without being confrontational. Self-entitled people may not be used to others pushing back, so they might react negatively at first. But over time, assertiveness teaches them that their entitlement won't manipulate or pressure you. You're setting the tone for respectful communication, where both sides are heard and respected. Remember, being assertive isn't about overpowering someone else. It's about ensuring your voice and boundaries are respected, even if they don't like it. Number 6. Don't take their behavior personally. Self-entitled people act out of their own issues, not because of something you've done. Their behavior is often driven by insecurity, arrogance, or a deep-seated need for validation. While it's easy to feel attacked or disrespected, it's important to remember that their actions aren't about you, they're about them. By understanding this, you can avoid taking their words or actions personally. When someone throws a tantrum or makes unreasonable demands, don't let it affect your sense of self-worth. They're projecting their own frustrations and insecurities, and how they treat others is a reflection of their character, not yours. This mindset helps you stay emotionally detached from their behavior, allowing you to respond with calmness and clarity, instead of reacting defensively. Number 7. Limit your interactions when necessary. If someone's entitlement is constantly causing you stress, one of the healthiest options is to limit your interactions with them. You're not obligated to give your time and energy to people who drain it. If the self-entitled person is a family member or colleague, you may not be able to cut ties completely, but you can still manage how much time you spend around them. In a work setting, try to focus on professional interactions only. Keep conversations brief and stick to work-related topics. In personal relationships, establish firm boundaries on how often you engage, and don't feel guilty for protecting your well-being. By limiting your interactions, you're prioritizing your own mental health and preserving your energy for people and situations that truly matter to you. Number 8. Use humor to diffuse tension. Humor can be a great way to diffuse tension and redirect a conversation with a self-entitled person. When used thoughtfully, it can lighten the mood and prevent situations from escalating. For example, if someone is making unreasonable demands, you can respond with something lighthearted like, "Are you sure you don't want me to fly you to the moon while I'm at it?" This approach works because it doesn't directly confront the entitlement, but still acknowledges the absurdity of the situation. Humor can help the person realize that their demands are a bit over the top without creating a confrontational atmosphere. However, it's important to avoid sarcasm or mean-spirited jokes, as they can be misinterpreted and escalate the situation. Stick to light, playful humor that makes everyone feel comfortable. Number 9. Be empathetic but avoid enabling. Self-entitled behavior often stems from deeper insecurities or unmet needs. While this doesn't excuse their actions, practicing empathy can help you better understand where they're coming from. Maybe they're acting out because they're feeling overlooked or undervalued in other areas of their life. Being empathetic means acknowledging their feelings without necessarily agreeing with their behavior. You can show understanding, but it's crucial not to enable their entitlement. For instance, you can say, "I understand why you feel this way, but I can't meet your request right now." This response shows compassion without giving in to unreasonable demands. Empathy can build a bridge of understanding, but boundaries prevent that bridge from turning into a path of enabling. Number 10. Know when it's time to walk away. Sometimes the best way to deal with a self-entitled person is to simply walk away. Not all situations can be resolved through calm conversation or setting boundaries, especially if the person refuses to change or respect your limits. When their behavior becomes too toxic or stressful, it's okay to remove yourself from the situation entirely. Walking away doesn't mean you're weak or giving up. It means you're prioritizing your mental and emotional health. You don't have to stay in environments where you're constantly disrespected or devalued. If the self-entitled person in your life refuses to acknowledge boundaries or continues their behavior despite your efforts, walking away might be the healthiest choice. Protecting your peace should always be your top priority. Dealing with self-entitled people is never easy, but these 10 techniques will help you handle them with confidence and grace. Remember, The key is to stay calm, set boundaries, and know when it's time to disengage. By taking control of how you respond, you can protect your peace and avoid getting pulled into unnecessary drama. Before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more tips for improving your relationships and communication. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in our next video.